moment the soul leaves the body. What really happens in the final seconds of life, when your heart stops beating and the world around you fades into silence? Is that the end or the beginning of something far greater than we can imagine? Doctors call it clinical death. To them, it's when the brain goes still, when every machine flatlines. But to those who have been there, who have crossed that invisible boundary and come back, that moment is anything but empty. They describe it as the most vivid, breathtaking, and peaceful experience of their existence. Imagine this: you're lying on a hospital bed. The room is filled with whispers and alarms. You hear the nurse call your name. You see the tears in someone's eyes, and then suddenly, everything slows down. The pain disappears. The weight of your body fades. You feel yourself lifting, not falling, rising gently above, as if gravity itself has let go. You look down, and there you are. The body you once called you now lies still, pale, motionless, and yet you are fully awake. You can see, hear, and feel everything with more clarity than ever before. You realize for the first time that you are not your body. Across the world, thousands who have had near-death experiences describe the same astonishing moment: a separation. It's as if something within them, their true self, detaches and steps out of the shell of flesh. They feel warmth, freedom, and peace, not fear. Some speak of moving through a tunnel, drawn toward a radiant light that seems to know them, love them, and call them home. Others describe meeting loved ones who had passed, or hearing a gentle voice saying, "It's not your time." Science struggles to explain it. The brain, they say, hallucinates as it loses oxygen. But how can hallucinations explain the clarity, the details, the perfect awareness of what happens in the room, even from above? Perhaps the answer isn't found in medicine, but in mystery. Maybe that moment, when the soul leaves the body, is not death at all, but transition, the end of illusion and the return to truth. In this video, we will step into that mysterious threshold, guided by stories of those who have seen the other side and the wisdom of spiritual traditions that have tried to describe it for centuries. Because one day, that moment will come for each of us, and understanding it might just change the way we live long before we die. Number 1. The silence after the last heartbeat. It begins with silence. Not the kind you hear when a room grows quiet, but a silence that swallows everything. The heartbeat that once echoed inside your chest stops. The rush of air in your lungs fades. The body, that living machine of motion and rhythm, grows still. For the people standing beside you, it is the moment of death. But for you, the one leaving, it is the moment of awakening. At first, there is confusion. You can still see the light above, still sense the voices around you, but something feels different. The weight that pressed upon your chest, the pain that chained you to the body, it's gone. You are not in darkness. You are not in fear. You are simply aware. Doctors and scientists have long studied this mysterious gap, those few minutes after the heart stops. They call it the window of consciousness, when the brain's final waves flicker like the last embers of a dying fire. Yet countless near-death survivors say that in those very moments, their awareness expanded beyond anything humanly possible. They describe watching their own bodies from above, the room glowing with a strange clarity, every detail sharp and luminous. They see people weeping, doctors moving, hands pressing on their chest, and while others see death, they feel life, pure, detached, endless. It is the silence before eternity, when the soul realizes it no longer belongs to time. Some feel a vibration, a pull, as if something within them is gently loosening. Others say it's like stepping out of a heavy suit, finally free to breathe for the first time. In that silence, something sacred unfolds. There is no fear, only curiosity. No pain, only peace. A light begins to form, faint at first, then brighter, calling softly from beyond. It doesn't speak in words, yet you understand. You are not gone, you are coming home. The world of flesh begins to fade, like mist dissolving under morning sun. And for the soul, what humans call death is not an ending at all. It's the moment the veil lifts and life in its truest form begins. Number 2. The moment of separation. There comes a moment, gentle, silent, almost imperceptible, when the soul slips free. It does not burst out in violence or vanish in smoke. It simply lets go. Like a leaf breaking loose from a branch in autumn, or a sigh escaping into open air. Those who have felt it say it happens in a breath. 1 second you are in your body, heavy, aching, tethered by pain. And the next, you are hovering just above it, watching yourself as if from a dream you've suddenly awakened from. You can see your own face, pale and still, yet you feel more alive than ever. A strange light surrounds you. Not cold, not blinding, but alive, like mist made of memory. You realize you can move without moving, see without eyes, hear without ears. Every sense becomes limitless. You are no longer confined to muscle, bone, or breath. You are awareness itself, pure, radiant, weightless. Some describe seeing a silver cord, thin and shimmering, connecting their new form to the lifeless body below, a luminous thread that pulses softly, as if it carries the last ties between the physical and the eternal. Ancient texts call it the cord of life, the sacred tether that binds the soul to matter. And when it breaks, the separation becomes final. For a few, that moment feels like fear, the instinct of a being stepping into the unknown. But for most, it is release, a relief deeper than sleep. The pain, the noise, the weight of years, all dissolve in an instant. What remains is peace and light. You begin to sense other presences around you, soft movements, radiant forms that seem to know you. They do not speak, yet you understand their silent welcome. You are not alone. You never were. And as you drift higher, you look one last time at the body you once called home. It lies there quietly, empty, like an old garment you've outgrown. You feel no sadness, only gratitude, because now you understand you were never the body. You were always the soul. That is the moment of separation, when death is not a thief, but a key, the instant when what is eternal finally remembers itself. Number 3. The tunnel and the light. Then it happens, a shift, like being gently pulled by an invisible tide. The world behind you grows dim, and ahead there is motion. A tunnel, vast, endless, alive, opens before your sight. You do not walk, you glide, drawn forward by a force both magnetic and kind. The deeper you go, the softer everything becomes. Sound fades, colors melt, fear disappears. Many who have been there describe this as the passage, the sacred corridor between worlds. Around you, darkness breathes, not cold or empty, but deep and calm, like the womb of creation itself. At first you might think you are alone, but listen closely. Somewhere within that silence, there is a hum, a vibration, pure and golden, like music made of light. Then at the end of the tunnel you see it, the light. Not a sun, not a fire, but a brilliance so alive that it seems to know you. It does not blind, it embraces. It feels warm, intelligent, loving beyond comprehension. Every fear, every sorrow, every regret begins to dissolve under its radiance. Some say it feels like being recognized, as if that light remembers who you truly are, even when you have long forgotten. Others describe it as being called home. The closer you move, the more your being expands. You realize that this light is not outside of you, it is what you have always been. Through that glow, shapes begin to appear, faint outlines of familiar faces, souls who have gone before you. They do not speak with words, yet you understand them perfectly. Their presence carries a message that fills your heart. Don't be afraid, you're safe, you are loved. For some, this is where their journey continues, into the embrace of eternity. For others, it is where they are stopped, gently by that same loving force. Not yet, it says. there's still something left for you to do. But whether they return or go beyond, all speak of that same light, a brilliance that holds no judgment, only understanding, a presence that feels like home. And in that tunnel between life and eternity, every soul learns the same truth. Death is not darkness. It is the light we've been searching for all along. Number 4. The review of a lifetime. As the light surrounds you, something extraordinary begins to unfold. You are no longer moving. You are remembering. Not fragments, not flashes, but the entire story of your life, revealed in a single breathtaking instant. It is not like watching a movie. It is living it again. Every word, every choice, every emotion, all at once. Time doesn't exist here. Everything happens in perfect clarity. You see your first breath, your first smile, your moments of joy and fear, all of it glowing within the light like ripples across eternity. But this is not judgment. There is no courtroom, no divine voice condemning you. The only voice you hear is your own, the voice of your soul, finally free to understand what it truly created. You don't just see what you did to others, you feel it. Every kindness, every cruelty, every tear you caused or wiped away, you feel it all. The love you gave expands like a sunrise. The pain you caused returns, not to punish but to teach. In that awareness, truth becomes impossible to hide. Masks, excuses, self-deception, they fall away like dust, and in their place comes understanding, deep, tender, and filled with mercy. You realize that no one ever judged you but yourself. The light, if anything, loves you even more because it sees not your mistakes but your journey through them. Those who have experienced this life review say it changed them forever. Some wept, not from guilt, but from awe, realizing how every small act of love, every word of compassion, every moment of forgiveness mattered. Nothing was wasted, nothing forgotten. And in that brilliant stillness, a truth becomes clear. Life was never about success, possessions, or pride. It was about the invisible threads of love we wove through others' hearts. When the review ends, you feel lighter, as though centuries of weight have lifted from your being. You are seen, known, forgiven, and the light asks only one question, not in words but in essence. Have you learned how to love? Because in the end, that's all that ever mattered. Not how long you lived, but how deeply you loved. Number 5. The angelic presence. As the life review fades, a new awareness begins to bloom, soft, radiant, and alive. The light around you seems to move, to breathe, to become something. And then you realize you are not alone. From within the glow, figures emerge, not as bodies, but as living light shimmering with colors beyond earthly sight. Their presence is overwhelming, yet comforting. They radiate love so pure that it feels like standing inside music, a symphony of compassion and peace. You recognize them not by name or face, but by energy. Somehow your soul knows them deeply, as if they've been walking beside you all along, unseen. These are the angelic beings, messengers, guides, guardians. They do not speak in human words. Their communication is instant, complete, made of thought and feeling woven together. Every question in your heart is answered before you even ask. Every fear dissolves the moment you look upon them. Their beauty is not physical, but spiritual, a beauty that humbles you, reminding you of what heaven must be made of. Some appear vast, their light stretching into infinity. Others glow softly, close, like old friends welcoming you home. No two souls see them the same way, for they reveal themselves in the form your heart is ready to recognize. They do not judge, they comfort. They do not command, they guide. You may feel them asking with infinite gentleness if you're ready to continue your journey, or if you still have something left unfinished. And within that question lies the purest love, the freedom to choose. Many who have been here describe being shown the path forward, a horizon of light, cities of color, gardens that breathe, and realms of sound that are alive. But others are told, softly, not yet. You must return, and though their souls long to stay, they understand the purpose of life has not yet been fulfilled. Before departing, the angels leave a mark upon the soul, not a command, but a memory of unconditional love, of eternal belonging. Those who return carry it forever. They say it is impossible to forget that light, because once you've felt it, nothing on earth ever feels the same again. For in the end, to meet an angel is to remember who you really are, a spark of that same divine light, simply wearing the shape of a human for a little while. Number 6. Returning to the body. The moment comes suddenly, without warning, without decision. One instant you are surrounded by warmth, music, and living light. And the next, you feel a heavy pull, a gravity unlike anything you've ever known. The beauty around you begins to fade. The colors dim. The presence of the angels grows distant, though never truly gone. You hear a voice, soft, loving, yet firm. It's not your time. Go back. And before you can protest, before you can whisper, "Please let me stay," everything collapses into darkness. Then, pain. A rush of cold air floods your lungs. Your heart jerks, pounding violently. The body that once felt like home now feels like a prison of weight and ache. You gasp, choking on breath. The hospital lights stab your eyes. Voices echo around you. Someone shouts, "They're back." But even as confusion returns, something inside you knows you've been somewhere real. You've seen what waits beyond the veil, and now you've been sent back with a purpose. Those who have experienced this say it's the most bittersweet moment imaginable. To awaken in the body feels like stepping into a smaller world after glimpsing infinity. Food tastes different. Colors look muted. Time moves strangely. But along with that longing for the light comes something else. A deep, unshakable peace. You stop fearing death because you know it's not an end. It's a homecoming. You stop taking life for granted because every breath feels like borrowed grace. You forgive more easily. You love more fiercely. You see beauty in things others overlook. A sunrise, a child's laughter, the way light hits a leaf. Every near-death survivor describes the same transformation. They return changed. Not wiser in mind, but wider in soul. They no longer chase, they cherish. They no longer ask, "Why me?" but "What can I do with this time I've been given?" And though the memory of heaven fades with days and years, the feeling never does. It lingers, a quiet knowing that death is not to be feared, because it has already been met, and it was beautiful. So they live, not to avoid death, but to honor life. Every heartbeat becomes a prayer, every moment a second chance. Because once you've returned from eternity, even the simplest breath becomes a miracle. Conclusion: the Great Awakening. Death, the word alone, makes most people tremble. Yet, for those who have touched its edge, it no longer carries fear. They describe it not as darkness, but as a return to light. Not an ending, but a great awakening. The moment when the soul remembers what it truly is. You see, we spend our lives believing we are this body, this fragile skin, this heartbeat, this face in the mirror. We fight to preserve it, decorate it, protect it. But when the soul finally leaves, you realize how small it all was, and how infinite you've always been. The body was never your prison, it was your classroom, a sacred vessel for the soul to learn, to love, to grow. Those who've crossed the veil all speak the same language, no matter their faith or culture. They talk about love, not as emotion but as energy, as truth itself. They say everything we do, every word we speak, either expands or diminishes that love. And when we die, we don't take memories or possessions, we take only what we've become through love. That is the awakening, the realization that eternity has always been here, pulsing behind every heartbeat, waiting for us to notice. The moment the soul leaves the body isn't tragedy, it's revelation. It's like waking from a long dream, stretching your wings, and realizing you were never bound. But you don't have to die to awaken. You can begin now by living as if your soul were already free, by forgiving quickly, by loving deeply, by walking gently through this world, knowing that every life you touch is eternal. Because one day, you too will take that final breath. You will feel the silence, see the light, and hear the voice that calls every soul by name. And when that moment comes, may your heart be calm. May you smile through the tears, whispering, "I'm not afraid. I'm just going home." So live with eyes open and heart awake, for the truth is not hidden beyond death. It's shining within you, even now. That light you'll see at the end has been guiding you all along.